What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 16 of season 2 of the Trout Wrangler podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garrity. We have a special guest with us today. I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ryan, for the invitation. I'm Ian Arthur from Brazil. I live here since I was born in Rio de Janeiro. So I was born in the coast, but now I'm living in Manaus. So I'm in the heart of the Amazon. So I moved 15 years ago to here to deal with sport fishing in the Amazon. But I started in salt waters, especially surf casting. I started surf casting tournaments and all of them.
That's pretty cool, though.
Now I'm 61. I'm getting old. My shoulders are tired already after more than 35 years fishing.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's 35 years of catching big ones if your shoulders are that, if
So
your
yeah.
shoulders are that sore.
Because
But,
I'm the type of fisherman that likes every type of fishing. I
oh,
enjoy
yeah.
very much fly fishing. I like surf casting to saltwater fishing for popping and trolling. You can
Heck
invite
yeah.
me anyway.
I love all types of fishing. I bass fished. That's here. And then I bass fished. I saltwater fished. I did also any type of fishing. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll
that's the
try it
same
at
as me.
least once.
Yeah,
But
exactly. That's the same.
let's get into it a little bit. Let's the very beginning of your journey. At what age did you start fishing, and when did you decide to guide full time?
In the beginning, it's just I used to travel to the inshore part of the state in Rio and Espírito Santo, and then we just fish for small minnows like this, and then a type of fish a little bit bigger, and we started traíra too. There's a type of wolfish. So as very young, like 4 or 5 years, but no spinning reels, no rods, just bamboo. You know,
Okay,
the bamboo with the line and a hook. And then after a while, living in Rio, that's very popular. The surf casting is very popular because the beach is free, so everyone can go there and fish. So I start fishing in surf casting, and then I join a club, a fishing club, and then I noticed that you have a very huge difference in techniques when the guys are like tournaments guys and the amateurs like me. So I started learning a lot in the club, and then we start winning state tournaments, state championships, Brazilian championships. So I spent 10 years in tournaments in saltwater surf casting in Rio, and then I decided to create like a school of to teach fishing. So we
okay,
start with surf casting because I noticed the difference between the amateurs and the professionals in the tournaments. So we start with that, and then we pick a second with for fly fishing with a guy from the south, and the third class was about casting lures. So in understanding about lures, so I create like the name was Fishing University.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, with three different classes. I used to teach for surf casting and for lures, and my friend comes from the south to teach for fly fishing. So it was
Okay,
nice.
how much participation did you guys get in those in
No, it
Brazil?
was at the beginning. It was pretty new. The first fishing class in Rio, so they start putting on media, on your newspapers, etc. And the good idea that's after the class they are learning, they want to practice. So I start doing tourism. So I start doing weekends when the families of the fishermen could come to for the weekend and go
Yeah,
fishing. So I start doing like a guide and selling trips for lodges in the coast of Rio, and then they start to wanting to fish on lures in the Pantanal in the Amazon. So we create after that like a tourism agency with the
that's pretty
with
sweet.
the so, and then after a while, like in 2008, one of the clients sold part of his company, and was interested to put money to buy a boat in the Amazon to start the trips into the like a fishing destination. So we moved in 2008 to Amazon to start to run that boat.
That's awesome. See, I was looking at the website a little bit. I was looking at it, I was like, they have a full boat that they house people on the
Yeah,
Amazon
yeah,
River. That
yeah.
is so unique to anything I've ever seen, especially in Brazil. You're on the Amazon River right there. That's unbelievable. So that's kind of like your home base lodge right there.
Yeah, today I can tell you that's important for the people who never been in the Amazon. I used to say that you have like five different Amazons in just one region because the basin systems are very different. Like for example, the Americans like to come to the Rio Negro, the Black River with the very dark waters because that's the place where the big, huge peacock bass, Cicla
Yep.
tementia. Yeah. So the whole basin of the Rio Negro and his tributaries, you have more than 10 tributaries, very long tributaries. So you have a space bigger than Belgium, maybe, to fish
That's
for
insane.
the huge peacock bass. So the boat is important. It's interesting because you can move. For example, the fish is not good here. You can move at night and change places and try to find the fish in another river sometimes. And then you have the south of the Amazon, including the north of Mato Grosso. So you have pristine waters with current, with rocks. So it's excellent for fly fishing. And you have more species of fish. You can find the payara with the big teeth. You
Big
can have
teeth.
the
Yeah.
wolfish. You can have bicuda. Bicuda is amazing fish to catch. So when you go south, it's totally different. And you go more west for the east, north, you have other types of water too. And you have the mud
Okay.
water. The muddy water is like the Amazon itself, but it's not very good for lures. It's very good for catfish.
Okay.
So depending the place you go, you will have different fish in the same Amazon, but it's so huge.
That's pretty cool how there's a bunch of different fisheries in that one river like that though. Like that's I've watched videos fishing in the Amazon and I never really knew that it was that diverse of a fishery from say the west to the south. That's you said you're catching barracuda in moving water with rocks?
No, it has a bicuda. It looks
Okay.
like we have small things like these are not so big than barracuda, but we call bicuda. It's not the same shape. It's a very long fish, very strong,
Okay.
and bony fish. So it jumps. It jumps. So that's a fish that can grow up to 15 pounds maybe, but every 6, 8 pounds, there's very funny to catch and very good to
Oh
catch on
man.
fly. Very good. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Um
Bicuda is great.
I think you already answered the first part of this next question I have. So what would be your home river? Or like what part of the Amazon would be your home river?
It's basically the Rio Negro. Rio
Rio
Negro
Negro?
is yeah, because when you are from Manaus, you can fly an hour on a plane to arrive to the city of Barcelos. There you
Okay.
have like a small lodge there, a home that you can stay. And from there, this city, we pick the boat for navigating around the 8, 10 tributaries in the Negro. So that's
Okay.
the place we love to fish because that's the home of the huge
Okay.
peacock bass.
Blower. Can you hear it
Okay.
in the background?
No, no, it isn't here.
Oh, good. All right. Sounds good. All right, we'll keep going on that thought. I'm sorry about that.
No, no problem.
So the Rio Negro was is your
Yeah,
home river,
yeah,
and so with that, so what do you mostly do? You mostly target peacock bass on that
yeah,
fishery?
yeah, exactly. You have three
Okay.
species of peacock bass. The bigger one is the Cicla temensis, but you have rhinocensis and you have another one, monoculus too. And beyond that, you have this Mautraira, arowana. Arowana, I think you heard about with the fish with two barbers here.
Uh
A
huh.
scale fish, but who jump for to eat the the insects in
That's
the yeah.
that's insane. Dude,
That's the
so you know they have a lot of peacock bass. I'm sure you've been down to Florida. They have a lot of peacock bass down there in Florida, in South Florida.
Mhm.
Are there any big significant differences between the peacocks that you guys have there and then the ones down there in Florida.
I'm pretty sure that the Americans took this fish in Venezuela, probably. I think it's
Okay.
the Cicla ocellaris. But now in Florida, I heard you have more than 30 different exotic species. So
Yeah.
you have so many different fish. I'm sure that you have the Cicla monoculus too, the other type of peacock. I I,
Yep.
I watched a video with the guy fishing a very huge pacu. The
Yeah.
pacu is
There's
a
Pacu down there now.
round fish, probably tambacu, and I heard that they found the pirarucu, the arapaima, in Florida too. And arapaima,
Yeah. They.
if you put them, they, they will be crazy because they eat a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The air. I know. I think it was John was taught. He's been arapaima fishing in Florida. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know they had arapaima down there.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit. It's just the beginning, but after all, it will be plenty of them because in Brazil they are all around now. Yeah,
Oops,
all
sorry
around.
about that.
That's very
They're
good.
almost like infiltrating all your
Yeah,
waterways
but
down
that's a
there.
good. That's a challenge for so fly fishing and even for lure fishing is a challenge because it's a huge fish and a very strong head, but it's not the fight that you imagine thinking on his weight and size because you have fish over 2 meters, but they fight okay. But the challenge is to make the touch to have them biting. That's the
Right.
challenge. Yeah.
So
But
they just all around finicky fish, you think? I've never gone arapaima fishing. Are they more like a finicky fish where you have to really work for them?
we have you have like 3 or 4 destinations in Brazil, especially for Arapaima,
Okay.
that you can target this fish.
All right. What's your favorite species to fish in Brazil?
It will be peacock bass for sure,
Peacock
because
bass.
yeah, even its small size, it's okay. It's very good. So, and
Oh
when you
yeah.
have big ones, because we have the total species known by the science is about 16 now. 16
Okay.
different species. And in Brazil, maybe we probably have 12, 13, something like that. So there are different colors and different rivers, different areas of Brazil. If you go to the middle, you have the blue peacock bass. That's a fish to arrive, can grow to 12 pounds maybe. That is rare. And it's beautiful fish, clear water, and with the fins a little bit blue. Very, very interesting fish. And you go
Okay.
to the other part, you have like the river when the fish is red. We call him the fire peacock bass.
Okay. That's pretty
all
cool.
yeah, all red. So it's amazing fish too. And you go in another river, that's the species that we will find only in that river, the Cicla jarina from the river Jari. So only this river has this species. So if you count after all, you have 15, 16 in the world and maybe 12 in Brazil.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
didn't realize there were that many
Yeah.
different subspecies of a peacock bass.
And there are
That's pretty
species that
cool.
I probably caught maybe 11 or 12 among the 16. And
Oh my gosh.
that's good. That's very interesting to try. There are different colors. It's amazing fish.
What's the
Amazing.
biggest one you've caught so far?
I caught one and I'm about 12 kilos. It's about 98 centimeters long at the time. Now the world record is 94. 94.
Holy
So
cow. So,
yeah, at the time we didn't use measure devices like now. Now it's like a fever in Brazil. Since IGFA start with that,
okay.
because that was a good idea because when you put the measure device, you are obliged, you need to release the fish.
Oh
So
yeah, you need to
yeah,
release it?
yeah, you need to release. So before the records are you need to take it to kill to wait, and now you can be in salt water with the water shaking the boat, but you put the measure device and you measure the fish and release it, so they will certify your fish. And
Oh,
but
that's
because
pretty cool.
yeah, and now in Brazil it's common here. So you have groups of WhatsApp doing their own measure device with their names, and you have people who use the IGFA rule. So
Okay.
and But that's good because they release the fish. So
Okay. So for it to be certified with the IGFA, does it have to be on the IGFA measuring device?
for the IGFA, yes, you need to use
Okay.
them. So that's a problem a little bit because in Brazil we don't have people to sell the measure device from IGFAs. The guys need to buy from the US.
Oh,
So
they have to buy them
yeah,
from the US.
so you don't have so many people using them here. So
Okay.
that's the problem.
That is
But
kind of that is
uh,
kind of the problem. Is it just tough to ship them over there?
in the US, it's $50. When you import, it can be the
Oh
double
my
because
gosh.
because of the
Holy
tax.
cow.
Yeah, that's the one the IGFA.
Oh, that's the IGFA one right there.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, that thing's pretty cool. That thing's pretty big. So that's all they have to ship
Yeah,
you, and it's $50.
yeah, and two
Oh my
meters long.
gosh.
Yeah,
Holy
but
cow.
we don't have all the fish in the list. We are now. That's one of the goals we have in the South America Committee is to suggest new species to include in the list of the measure device, because so the people will start to chase the fish and release them. Because you like
Okay.
the fish I told you, bicuda is not on the list, for example.
Huh.
So you have all the peacocks. The peacocks are all of them are there. So, but
Okay.
Arapaima is not.
So is it mostly just the peacocks that are on the IGFA list right now?
From Brazil, you have a red-tailed catfish. You have all the
Okay.
peacocks. You have wolffish too, and surubim, I think, and the payara too. The payara
Okay.
we caught with a French. I guided a French guy in Xingu. He caught a 98. That's the record of payara. The with the two big teeth.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So let's talk about your position. So are you the president of the South American IGFA?
Yeah, I am the director of the committee, and we have like people from Peru, Ecuador, Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, and we are trying to improve the a little bit IGFA in South America because people knows IGFA, but it's not very popular. So we need to improve some things and achieve few goals, and we are trying to improve putting more fish and finding people to sell the measure device and to start understanding the rules how to certify a catch and stuff
Okay.
like that. I started in 2004. In 2004 they
Awesome.
invited to invite me to be like a representative in Brazil, and then I think I was the first one in freshwater because all the rest in Brazil are for saltwater because we have,
Pond.
yeah, you have a lot of big game fishing here, like marlin, blue marlin.
Yep.
Now in Brazil, we have the blue marlin record or tackle record and the white
Oh
marlin
my
blue
gosh.
the record. So the
You guys
coast is
have the
very.
world record?
I have
The
few. I have few. I
Oh
have
my
few from
gosh.
yeah. One type of peacock, still mine. It's a Tirorus from Beta River, and
Okay.
I have few. One in saltwater is a ladyfish.
Oh wow, ladyfish.
So, yeah, we call
That's pretty
the
sweet.
for the tarpon for the pool guys.
Yeah, the poor man's tarpon. That's what
Yeah,
we called it in Florida too. We used to call
but
it, we'd catch a
they are
ladyfish.
good. They are good to catch. They are good to
Oh
catch
yeah, they're fun to catch.
on fly especially. Yeah,
Oh, it's so much fun catching them on a
yeah.
fly. I used to catch them on an 8 weight, and they put up a good little fight on an 8 weight.
Oh
Now
yeah, yeah. Because
you just got to watch out for the gators.
yeah, in Rio, you can find them about 6, 8 pounds, even 10 pounds.
A
So they
ten
are,
pound ladyfish?
yeah, they're
That's
huge, like
unbelievable.
90. Yeah, they're very big. And I learned that you have so many species of ladyfish. I don't know if you have the same than that us. I don't know, but you have so many.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. But it's
So,
a nice fish for fly fishing. Yeah.
oh yeah. What's your favorite part of working for the IGFA?
No, I need to. In Brazil, I spent maybe 10 years doing teaching guides in many different parts of Brazil, especially in the north region, in the Amazon region, and teach kids too about like to deal with the fish, about environment and water, etc. And that we try to put in IGFA when you have like. like you call us to speak about the IGFA, etc. We
Right.
try to put it more popular. But the
Right.
problem in Brazil, is the way to bring the the devices from US, and it's expensive because this dollar is expensive for the Brazilians. And then the Brazilians start to compete with that. They start creating a
Their own.
Brazilian organization, a Brazilian game fish organization, and they
Oh.
create a measure device too. And for sure it's cheaper than IGFA.
Then the UN. Oh man, that stinks.
And
Man, is
it's
there going to
part
be a
of the
feud
work.
between the two?
Yeah. Now, in fact,
You got
if
to
you
have a
want to
fishing
be a
tournament to settle that out.
if you want to be a holder, a record holder in international, you need to use the
Yeah,
IGFA.
you
You
gotta
need to
you
be
gotta
just in
use the
Brazil.
IGFA.
Yeah.
Those are the real guys.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Oh
But
yeah.
you asking me about the fish, for example. You have I saw many different and weird records at IGFA because they do, for example, you need to kill the fish for that. When you use a very very teeny line, like a 2 pounds, 4 pounds, for a fish maybe 10 times weight
Oh
uh,
yeah.
heavier than that. So there are. Yeah, I never tried that because I know you need to kill the fish. So I never tried that. I tried
Yeah.
once to use a 12 pounds for the red tail catfish, and they are very strong and big. And I think I broke the first, the second, the third line. And I say, I will stop that because it's not good. And at the
Yeah.
end, I caught a fish and I fought for 45 minutes. My God, that will be the record. And it was not a red tail, it was another fish, another catfish without records. So
Oh man.
but it
You're
was
going
funny.
for red tail catfish on 12-pound line?
Yeah, I
That's
tried
pretty
it.
cool. That's cool
Yeah,
though. That's how your shoulders are sore. You're hooking them big red tail catfish on 12-pound tests.
it was crazy. And at the end, I lost the three first lines, and then I quit. I
Yeah,
put
enough of that.
Yeah. And I'm a
Oh,
my I have a friend in the Amazon. He was from Rio too. He spent maybe 30 years in here, and he was the first guy in Brazil to certified records in the Amazon. So I think he beats all the records there, and he got
oh,
one. I think he's still on. It's like a peacock bass, about I will tell you 11 kilos, and on a like 6 pound test rate. And he
on
told
six
me
pound test?
yeah, he broke 26 times before landing the fish. So
Oh my gosh.
he tried to find places with basically sandbars or places that you can leave the fish running, etc. But at the end, he told me he broke 26 times before landing this one to be the record. It was a
I
famous guy.
I would have broken my 10th one off, and that rod would have been snapped over my knee. That thing would have been floating. That thing would have been in the trash can, shattered over my knee.
Yeah.
That'd be the
Yeah.
end of my day fishing. That's
But
impressive,
we
though.
we, we already guide people from very I think important people from IGFA in Brazil. The former president. We had maybe Marty Arosteg from maybe 4 times with us here. Marty Arosteg is one of the I think the guy who has the number of more number of records in the at IGFA, and
Oh
all
my
his
gosh.
family do like this. And it's a different word.
Yeah,
If I can say, it's a different word.
that's pretty cool though. That like you have your own kind of sanction down there for the Brazil IGFA, so you don't have to really
Yeah,
fight
yeah.
the guys in the United States for their records and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Uh, it has an interesting thing for the fly fishermen,
Oh
because
yeah.
normally in fly fishermen the rule say that you need to use 20 pounds as a tippet. So,
Yep.
for example, I tried to fish for the world record for the wolfish, and I put the 20 pounds, but it was okay. I land the fish. I think it's not 80 centimeters long, but it's okay. And with a 20 pounds. So you need to find a good 20-pound line because it needs to be certified, and they will put on the machine to test if it's 10-20, and then
Okay.
they certify your catch. But
So
that's
they put it
important
on
because
they put it on like a stretch machine to to
yeah, they
check
have
if it
that.
breaks at 20 pounds?
Yeah, they need to break 20 under. And for
Okay.
example, that's a challenge for the huge peacock bass. If you want a record for Cicla temensis, you need to put the same 20 pounds in the in
Oh my
the
gosh.
on the tipper. That's terrible. So it's very
Yeah.
very difficult to have a fish like with that hard.
That's I see, I never knew that it had to be 20-pound tippet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
that's great.
crazy.
And you have other records for 2 pounds, 4 pounds, 6 pounds, 8, 12. But for fish over like fish less than 20 kilos, the maximum tippet is 20.
Oh my
So you need
gosh.
to eat. Like peacock bass is super strong. It's a fish that I'm pretty sure that the first run is like 4 times his weight. Like a
Yeah.
5 kilos fish is probably 20 kilos first run. So yeah, it's hard to stop him. I already
Oh
seen
yeah.
80 pounds breaking with a fish. The
It's
guy,
like tying
80 pounds,
it's
boom, break.
it's like tying your dang line to a train and just letting it go as
Yeah.
fast as it can down the
Yeah, yeah.
tracks.
I mean, it's close to the rocks, or maybe to the snags or to the woods. That's great. That lost.
Oh yeah, you're cooked if it gets close to a
Yeah.
rock.
Sometimes you need to open it and let it go smoothly, and then the guide jump into the water to
And then they grab
to
it.
catch the fish. Yeah, to grab them.
What kind of stuff are you fighting off when you're jumping into the water for a peacock bass?
Yeah, the problem in the Amazon that the people can't see too much under the surface because it's black. The water is always black. So I think you can have caiman. I think that's the worst thing. And maybe if you step in the water in the sandbar, you need to be careful about the stingray because sometimes you just step on it and they will sting you. And
Yeah,
I never been touched by them, but I know it's hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin, but
I remember one. This is a story with a guy from Florida. He went. You remember a fishing show named I think Monster Fish or
yeah, I
something like that.
remember
Yeah.
him.
We they sent Joe Settembrino to do the video with us in the Xingu, and we found a lagoon that we never fished before. And I told him, "Look, this experience, but no boat inside. You need to fish by the water, walking inside the water and casting." And he say, "Okay, okay," but and the cameraman was by the shore, and both of us in the water with the water in, like here. I have like a few lures here and trying to catch the wolfish. And at the end of the day, he told me, "Look, man, I was scary at that." I was thinking, my God. And sometimes they came and followed the Zara spook because of
Yeah.
the
Oh, they
sound.
follow the Czar
Yeah.
spook.
And sometimes, like 20 meters, they are coming to us. And we do like this in the water. Oh, go away. And just he swim back into the water. And the guy was looking, my God, he disappeared. Where is the camera now? And after that, he was talking about the piranhas, the stingray, the wolfish, the caiman. I think he,
Oh,
he he didn't fish very well that day.
yeah. Those caimans were in his head.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
pretty
was very close.
crazy though.
And you
I
have
got a
the
pair
electric
of.
electric eel too. Electric eel is all
Oh,
around. Yeah,
dang! I had a
yeah, you
pair of
can have.
caiman skin boots in my apartment here somewhere. Those are the snazziest boots I got with the caiman skin.
uh,
I got to
that's a
come
huge
there and get
problem
some more. But
because they love lures.
yeah, I think the gate when I lived in Florida, the gators like flies too.
Yeah,
You throw a popping fly, they go crazy for a popping fly.
oh yeah,
Let's
the
see what
sound.
else.
They like the sound.
Oh, they love it. But let's see. For those unfamiliar with the IGFA, what role does it play for the global sport fishing community?
Look, I think it's the biggest NGO in sport fish in the world. I think they try to put like ethic rules to for anglers to do the right thing. to teach the guys and the people, the fishermen, to how to hold a fish, to release a fish, good techniques like they start saying that you need to use more circle hooks, for example, than the J hooks. So it's a way to improve a little bit the sport fishing in a good ethic and like more like that sense. In that
Yeah.
sense. And I
Yeah.
think they are present in I think a lot of countries already. So that's a huge work. Huge work.
That's
They
something
have
that that's something that's awesome for everybody though. Teaches them how to ethically fish, but at the same time also have a good time, you know? Because I think
yeah,
you got a lot of guys out there that love to fish, but some of them don't know how to do it in an ethical way. Because it's like I know you see a lot of videos of people mishandling fish. I've seen
exactly.
videos this year of kids throwing. They'll catch like a juvenile tarpon and huck it like a American football up there. I'm like, man, come on. It's like you don't do that to a tarpon,
And yeah, for example, if you go to the world record, you can certify the fish. For example, if you snag him, it's
right?
not it's impossible. You can't do that. So
No,
things like that to learn a little bit more about the good techniques to do the right thing. Yeah.
okay. So let's see. We got that, I think, too. Ethical. So
About the fly
yeah,
fishing, I have an interesting story. I don't know if you
okay.
heard about Jose Wehebe.
I
Was
have not.
No, it's a Spanish fly fishing show at the time. It was a huge fishing show in the U.S. at the time. And he died. He diseased in a plane crash with a experimental
Oh my
plane,
gosh.
so the small ones in Florida. But he was a very good guide in Florida, and then he started doing the shows, and it was a huge show. He has a lot of sponsors, and he came in Brazil just once, and we are there with him to guide him. And then the first day, I think it was the first day fishing for peacocks. He broke his G Loomis rod. It was a night the cross current rod.
Oh,
He broke because the knot came in, and then the fish ran again, and he
ran
did not
it. Oh,
hold and through, break the rod. And so at the end,
oh,
he told me like this: Ian, I will give you my rod, and you call Jelumes and tell them to switch for you, but don't tell them that I told that for you. So I switched my rod. I have the rod till now, the cross current number 9,
yeah.
and it was from him, but I switched it because it broke at the time. And the guy was very famous in US, and we did maybe 3 or 4 episodes. Excellent from all the fish in the Amazon, red tail, payara, and peacocks. It was very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Breaking a G Loomis isn't a good day.
yeah.
Breaking a G Loomis
For
is
me,
not
for me,
cheap.
to me, it was awesome
Yeah, for
because
you it was a great day.
yeah,
You made out like a bandit.
yeah, so it was very
But
nice.
that's pretty cool though. Well, so
Yeah,
who to this day, who's probably the coolest guy you've ever fished with?
this guy was awesome. This guy is
Yeah.
just like yeah. And I think all the guys are because we do a lot of media, and we have people from France, from the US. We host John B from the YouTube. You know
Yeah, I
him?
know him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You probably
oddly enough,
yeah
his
you.
so his boat captain and his boat captain and the guy who was the advisor from my high school fishing team,
Mhm.
they boat captain John B. And like
Um,
when he was in high school, so we all got to meet him. He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He fished in the Xingu and he caught the electric eel.
Oh man.
He was looking for that, and he fished also the temensis, the huge peacock bass in the Negro. So it's very nice. I love to teach to guide people who've never been here because every day is a different experience. You can change techniques, you can change fish and places. That's good.
Is the weather pretty crazy? Did the weather ever get crazy there? Big lightning storms and
The
stuff
last
like that.
the last 2 years, you probably seen on TV it was so dry here, especially in
Yeah.
September, October. Manaus, especially because Manaus is the meeting of the two rivers, the Negro and the Amazon. So the Amazon start to be very, very dry. So they pull all the water from the Negro, and the Negro start to be very low too. So
Oh
because
man.
in the city we can the year of 2009 we have the lowest water in the harbor in Manaus was 13 meters, and the highest water in the season 29
Oh my
meters.
gosh.
So it's a difference of 16 meters from the dry to the flood season. That's a that's amazing that you can see that the quantity of water in
That's
30 in
nuts.
16 meters. Yeah, that's nuts. And the
That's
last two
nuts.
years, Manaus was like 13, 12. I think it's the record now. It was the last 2 years, 12 meters, I
Yeah.
think.
Still
And now
pretty
it's
dry out there.
now it's 28, 29
Oh, that's
already.
not bad. That's
Yeah,
good at
I think
least.
I heard that I think we will have like the next 10 years stable. I
Stable. It's
will,
gonna be.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah. Because
So
so
what? How does the water being that low affect the fishery?
yeah, look for the sometimes you are in the middle of Brazil and you have a lot of species to catch is not so important, but in the Negro and the tributaries, if you have like a heavy rain for like 6 hours, 8 hours, and all the water start to put the river a little bit up, the fish start to stop to bite. Peacock
Oh,
back.
they
Yeah,
stop
peacock
biting.
back. Yeah. And
Oh
so
man.
normally you need to move to try another river, another situation. And it's like sometimes the heavy rain is like a wave. For example, it's here and then it will move down river. So sometimes you need to cross that wave and find the water dropping again after the wave. So sometimes you need to have the strategy to do that. Normally,
Okay.
if you have the when it's dropping is always good. When it's coming
Okay.
up, no, nobody's not good.
No good when it's coming up.
No. So
No.
then during the season you have that's the rainforest. So you have rain the whole season. But when it's dry, the fish is good. Sometimes just heavy rains can affect the can start or the rains in Venezuela too. The border of Venezuela, Colombia. If it's rained too much there, they will flow to the Rio Negro in the Brazilian part.
Okay. So you think that's the biggest challenge that your
Yeah.
ecosystem down there is facing right now?
Yeah, I'm sure
'Cause-
because if you target the huge peacock bass, you will need to face this type of problems. If
okay.
you target like payara and small types of peacock bass or wolfish, you go to the middle of Brazil, and that's much more stable than in the northwest where we are. The
Okay.
northwest, yes, you need to be because we when you buy a trip, sometimes it's a year in advance to have your to book the trip, and you don't know
Okay.
what will happen in a year.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so sometimes you have luck and sometimes no, so you need to have a good crew, a good guides in the boat too, to find the right place to fish when it's not very good.
Okay. I was gonna say, do you ever get in like a pinch and you gotta be like, oh man, we gotta get running.
Yeah.
We gotta go on a big run.
For fly fishermen, I can tell you you normally catch more fish on fly, more peacock bass on fly than in regular bait casting.
Okay.
Normally you catch more, but the big fish is normally easier in using big lures, sound, and propellers, etc. It's easier than in popper or in big streamers.
Okay.
Oh.
So do you throw a lot of Zara spooks, like chopper lure kind of things?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That normally produce more bigger fish.
Okay. So that sound, like having the rattles in like a Zara spook or like a Whopper Plopper type bait,
Yeah,
that'll
poppers.
make a bigger strike.
Yeah, poppers
Okay.
too. Sometimes when the this is a little bit flooded, you need to make the sound to take it off from the woods of the jungle.
Okay.
And
I've
so
seen the oh my bad.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I
I've
did that
uh
pictures and the fly. Yeah.
I've seen the videos of those guys with the big Zara spooks. It's like they have the big rod out there and they are ripping that thing.
Mhm.
And then you see the big peacock come up and inhale it. That's such fun stuff to watch. It's
Last
so
year,
cool.
Yeah, last year we started fishing with a big, huge twitch bait, and it works very well. So it was made by Duo, and we start like 16, 18 centimeters long, but like this long in the middle of the lagoons, like this, and we
Uh
caught
huh.
a lot of big fish on that.
Oh
And
yeah.
so now it's spread.
Oh man. Let's see. How do you see the sport, the future of sport fishing evolving in South America over the next 5 to 10 years?
Here in Brazil, we start to improve fishing in protected areas. So what
Okay.
this means, we have national parks, you have state parks, we have Indians reservation. So they are protected areas. So you have more fish for sure,
Okay.
and they start to improve the partnership with fishing operators to pay the Indians, to pay the communities to fish there. And we got one river like this in 2018. Our contract with them will last till 2029.
Okay.
So you can see every year the size of the fish growing 1, 2 centimeters long more. And that's
Okay.
interesting to see because we are developing very on a distance communities with they have needs, so they needs for school, for transportation, for fuel, for
Okay.
health, for everything. And with that money they start to be better, and because it's a good amount of money every year. But for us, that's the opportunity to fish in private areas is very interesting. So
Oh
that
yeah.
starts to be more common now, and I think it will be more and more like this because you have a lot of fisheries intact, like at the beginning, nobody never fished there, and so when
Right.
you do the deal for that, I think it would be because few parts of the Brazil for sure you have. Too much people, you have too much people fishing, too much lodge fishing,
Oh yeah.
and so the fish gets stressed of that.
Yeah. Those fish get stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of similar to what we have here. Like our we have an Indian reservation in Western North Carolina that now you can pay $40 to fish their trophy water, and you can get a permit for it, and they got massive, massive trout in it,
Oh, that's good.
huge. Yeah, and they pay, but it's like the same thing. It's an Indian
Yeah.
reservation, and they protect it, and the same thing in the Great Smoky Mountains. They protect it so that it is just a great fishery all around, and it's cool to see that expand to different parts of the world. That concept there.
Yeah, and by the way, the all around few states in the middle of Brazil, they start better regulation to avoid the transporting the fish. But they don't have the rule of two measure like you have. For example, the minimum and the maximum length
Oh
to
yeah.
keep the fish. We don't have that. We have a minimum, yes, but the minimum will never take care of the fish because if you kill them just 1 centimeters after the minimum, you will kill all the good fish, all the
Okay.
yeah. So, but we have now in few states like Mato Grosso do Sul, the place you have good fishing, Goiás, they are not allowing you to transport the fish. So you can maybe eat it by the shore in the river, but you can't transport this to your home. So
Okay.
now it's protecting a lot with that, and you have more and more states going the same direction. So I'm pretty sure that in few times maybe we will finally make disappear the commercial fishing in fresh water because we still have that.
Okay.
And it's,
So they have something similar to deer with that too here.
Mhm.
When you deer, like I deer hunt a lot as well. So if you kill a deer in the state of South Carolina, like if I kill a deer in the state of South Carolina, which is only like 25, 30 minutes from me, I can't transport it to my house in North Carolina across the border.
Okay. But
Yeah, so
that's
that
more like the same, yeah. But the problem
yes,
is we have good regulations, but we need to surveil. That's the problem. It's a huge country. And for example, some places like in the river, like the Negro, is so many. You have so many islands, and it's easy to just to cut the surveillance and to to run if you want to kill fish, for example. But
Right.
that's part of the
So
challenge to deal with that, because we still have commercial fishing in fresh water, and they have their politicians to defend them, and we
yeah.
are fishing. We want to release all the fish. It's all the same. We
So
need
you
to.
think, yeah, that's also the same here. It's like they lobby for the commercial fishermen on the rivers, but it's like, so is that a big problem as well in Brazil? Is the commercial fishing?
Yeah, you have that, yes, but we are improving the hatcheries too. So
Okay.
for sure, in a few time we are, but for sure, you have the tilapia from Africa, but you also have tambaqui. That's a fish for the north, for the Amazon. We have matrinchã for the Amazon and arapaima. So we are start to produce more fish too. So maybe the future we need to switch to take off the commercial fishermen from the rivers and to put them on hatcheries to create to produce more fish and
Oh yeah.
take them off the rivers.
Yeah, they could go have a field day with the tilapia. There's plenty of them.
Yeah. I hope they will not be in the river, but you have in few reservoirs, you have some, yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
big
So
ones.
this is how I end every episode. So at the bottom you probably saw the 5 songs.
Mm.
So, what are your 5 go-to fishing songs whenever you're hanging out on the river?
I'm old school, so I love rock and roll. So
Oh, I like that. I like that.
yeah, it's basically, and I knew a few time ago the Blackberry Smokes. I enjoy very much. That's a
Okay.
good song. You want the name of the songs?
Yeah, give me the name of
Uh,
some songs. I put them all
I
on a
like
playlist.
I like Stairway to Heaven, uh, Once Upon a Time in the West, Dire Straits, and that music from Blackberry Stone.
The
I like.
Blackberry Smoke.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
they're
I think it's a got you.
yeah,
The name
the
of the
country
music.
band. Let's see.
Yeah.
I have Stairway to. What was your second one?
Once Upon a Time in the West, the Dire
Okay.
Straits.
I love Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dire Straits, and then
The one from I've been in the first Rock in Rio in Rio in 85, 1985, and I saw in front of me the Queen, the
oh, you
show
saw
of Queen.
Queen?
Yeah, and it was so
That's pretty
close to
cool.
me. Yeah, and I remember the Bohemian Rhapsody, the music,
Uh
because
huh.
it's the moment of the stage going fire or something like that. It was there's
Oh yeah.
explosion. It was one of
So
my favorite too. I love this music too.
you got to see Freddie Mercury.
Very close to me, but he didn't answer me.
Hey
Yeah,
man, that's pretty cool though. You got to see Freddie Mercury right in front of you.
yeah.
Um,
I was young at the time, 20 years
heck
young.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Queen. I like Queen. Jimmy Buffett. I'm a big Jimmy Buffett guy. Here, let's see. Blackberry Smoke, and then I'm trying to see how many we have here. I do
Good
5 songs for all the guests. Let's see. Um, so I got Stairway to Heaven, Once Upon a Time in the West, and I have Blackberry Smoke. What's your fourth and fifth?
I can put the Bohemian Rhapsody too. Hello?
Let's. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. You
Oh,
see me now?
no, I think
Okay.
it cut off the camera. I'm
That's
sorry
what
about
I'm
that. There
okay.
it is. There
Yeah.
you are.
And let's
Let's-
see the fifth one. You have so many, but mm, and you have in Brazil a lot of we had in the 80s we have a great wave of Brazilian rock and roll too, but
oh, that's
now
cool.
it's not so familiar. But at that time it was very popular. But in the I love every song of Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, I love Led
So
Zeppelin
famous,
too. Let's put a few more
maybe,
Led Zeppelin songs on there.
maybe I'm gonna leave you.
Hey, it's all good. Ramble On, that Ramble On and Cashmere are two of my favorite
Oh
songs.
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Those are good ones. Um, and then let's see, that should be it. That's all I got for you, man. Here, I'm gonna put that on the Oh, I already had couple of them on the playlist. I have a ton of Led Zeppelin on that playlist. I'll send you that playlist. There's a ton.
Of course.
But that's all I got for you, Ian, dude. I really appreciate you coming on and making the time to sit down and talk to me about this stuff, man.
No, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Hey, are you going to be in the States to see John anytime soon?
Yeah, I need to. Normally, I supposed to go to the IGFA auction is every January. I try to go, but in January is a place at a time that we used to guide the groups here too, because it's a good big season too. But every year they have an auction, but it's in Florida, and sometimes I've been in maybe 3 or 4 iCasts too
Okay.
in Orlando. I don't know
Yeah,
if this year I will not go to Orlando because I have some few guys to
I
coming down
got you.
to the single. But maybe the auction. I'll try to go.
Sounds good, man. Well, if you're ever down this way, let me know, and
Yeah,
we can link up.
you're gonna send a hug to John Gasta.
Oh yeah, that's the man. He's super nice guy. He taught me how to saltwater fly fish.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Great.
but that's all I got. I'm gonna have to stop this, and then
Okay,
we'll stick around here for a little bit, and it'll upload all our tracks. So
everything you need.
shouldn't take too long. All right, that was Ian Arthur from Brazil. Peacock bass guide, just an all around fishing guide. Just all awesome conversation. It is really cool to see how fishing just brings so many people together, no matter where you're from, uh, what language you speak, everything. It's just cool to see that transaction go on, and really the only common interest you have is fishing. Really cool. Uh, awesome episode. So much information. I learned a tremendous amount that whole podcast. Um, all around just super interesting guy, super smart guy, and he's fluent in 3 languages. Unbelievable: French, Spanish, and English. Uh, honestly, probably one of the best fluent English speakers I've ever heard from South America. He spoke English fantastic. So shout out to him. That was really cool. Fantastic episode. But let's get down to one of the big events going on this weekend. I saw it on the Headwaters Outfitters Instagram page. They have the White Squirrel Fest going on in the Rossman Brevard area. Headwaters has a booth there, so go and check them out this weekend. You know, they got a lot of live bluegrass out there. Memorial Day weekend. Just gonna be an all around good time out there out there in Brevard and Rossman. So go check it out. Uh, and they're set up next to Brevard Brewing. So go out there, check it out. The White Squirrel Fest. Um, go and shop with Headwaters. I think they got some pretty good sales going on. I think Sims is 30% off. So go show my friends and go show my friends at Headwaters and Brevard show them some love. Go buy some Sim stuff. A lot of stuff that they have is on sale. Let me check the Memorial Day weekend, 25% off all free fly. So go and get your free fly. Go and get your Sim stuff. Your Cortland line is 40% off. They got a huge Memorial Day thing at Forks of the River Tap Room there in Rossman. $15 t-shirt special. Those t-shirts are pretty cool. I've seen them. But they got buy one, get one 25% off footwear. Sims is 30% off. Cortland's 40 off. And all free fly 25. Just good, comfortable stuff. It's actually great, comfortable stuff. So go and buy some. And have a great Memorial Day weekend. Drink a few cold beers for me. Catch a few fish for me. But all around, thank you, all the veterans, for your service. I can't thank you enough. That's why freedom's free. We wouldn't be here without our veterans of every battle, every war. No, thank you to everyone. Thank you to the veterans. Till next week, I will see y'all later. Thank you.